For a while I've been living in an old house. No one's died here. In fact, my grandfather built it when he first got married. We used this house as a camp that we rented out in the summer, until recently. We started having financial troubles and we put our nice house in town up for sale and moved down here. I can't really complain. It's lonely, sure, but I love the woods around us. At first everything was fine. I had the upstairs bedroom facing the woods. It was small and cozy and I quickly made it mine. Posters and pictures went up. Awards and badges hung on the walls and I was happy. My mom got me zebra print sheets and lamps and it looked like a typical teenage girl room. For the first 3 years we lived there, only noticing little things, my books being moved around subtly, the cats staring and chasing invisible things. We passed it off as them chasing bugs. Bumps in the night and a dog rolling at the large wood stove we had in the living room. The 4th year started to get weird. It started off with 2. There was a man in a red shirt and a woman in a blue dress. I saw the man more. The woman always seemed sad, and sometimes like she was crying. The man was more aggressive, actually slamming car doors and breaking lights in the kitchen. I saw them for only 3 months. I was starting to hope that was it, that I had bought something they were attached to, but sold it in one of the local community yard sales. I hoped they wouldn't come back, and they didn't. For the next 9 months I lived happily, without anything weird happening. By this time I was in 8th grade. I was an honor roll student and I had a strange group of friends, but I was happy. In our school we had a program called MLTI. If you asked me what it meant, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I couldn't remember if my life depended on it. But the program gave 7th and 8th graders in main laptops, which were to be used for academic purposes. We got them for a year, able to take them home, but we had to return them before summer started. I often used my laptop late into the night, writing stories and chatting with friends on Facebook or email, or even just watching a movie. I started noticing that I would take a break to use the restroom, get a drink or eat supper and come back, and either whole sections of my story were deleted, or my movie was moved to show a somewhat disturbing image on the screen. I even once walked in to see the brightness level being played with, actually witnessing the buttons being pressed. I got a cold and worried feeling that something was in my room and didn't plan on going anywhere. I found out that this was a little girl. I never found out what her name was, but she scared me. Once I woke up to see her staring at me. She was sitting above my window and I saw her face. That was the only time I saw her though. Eventually it got to me and I couldn't sleep. I moved my sleeping quarters into my office. It was smaller but it had a futon couch that I could easily sleep on. Now I am in high school and strange things again have been happening. I hear scratching noises from the wall that my bed is pressed up against. I told my mom about it. It's just squirrels and birds. Don't worry about it. I asked my dad about it. He said probably just some damned rodents. Shoot 'em, and laughed at me, so that's what I passed it off as: squirrels, birds and rodents, and I could sleep. About halfway through my freshman year the scratching became violent and louder. Late at night there was tapping on the window. It wasn't just tapping. It was rattling. Even when there was no one out, it would rattle and rattle. Now call me a baby, but to calm my nerves about the rattling, I went out and bought myself a teddy bear. I cuddled it tight every night. I've been really freaking out about the rattling, and I wish it would stop. It got to the point where it didn't sound like scratching anymore. It was more like annoying, like someone was trying to eat their way through the solid wood walls. Sometimes I dare myself to look out the window by my head, and each time I regret it. I don't see the stars or the moon. I see black blurs, but when I look out the window by my feet I see the stars and moon. This in itself scares me. I don't know what's going scratch, scratch, tap tap, rattle, but I want it to go away. Maybe I'll get a priest over here to bless the house, if that would help at all.